Leadership is to take action in a way that adds value to someone else. Focusing on people is very critical. There's a couple of misconceptions, common mistakes that I've seen made. Number one, people confuse the annual performance review with coaching, and I'm saying they're not the same. And they confuse mentoring and coaching. So let's work in reverse order. Mentoring is I come and tell you a story, you weren't there, but I come tell you a story, and you give me advice based on that story. And the problem is your advice is only as good as my story, and my story always has blind spots and is slightly distorted based on my own perception. And if you could have been there and watched me, you'd have a very different impression as to what happened or what I was doing than my story. Which is why I have a lot of issues with people where, they say to me, "Oh, I have a mentor. Oh, believe me, I'm very self-aware." But they don't realize mentoring and coaching are not the same thing, okay? You need to develop people who observe you every day, and you need to get their advice. Now, if you're the senior person in the organization, it means your subordinates. You need to cultivate their willingness to give you advice on what they're seeing, okay? Or else you're not gonna get coached at all. And by the way, the issues you're facing will eventually come to the surface, usually when the board decides to do a review. And unfortunately, what I've seen often happen, by the time those issues come to your attention, it's too late. In that they've been around for so long that people have had it with you. I was just talking to a CEO yesterday who got forced out of their own organization they founded over this issue. They had blind spots, they didn't get enough coaching, and finally the board asked them to leave. And I feel horrible for this person, and they feel betrayed, but this is why it happened. And it's not an uncommon story. So that's one issue. The second part is giving coaching. The year-end review is not the time to coach someone. The year-end review is the verdict. There's nothing a person could do about the criticism by the time of the year-end review. It's done. Whether or not they're going to get promoted is set. And if you surprise somebody in a year-end review, I got news, they're going to be really mad at you. The time for feedback is well in advance of the year-end review when someone has an opportunity to act on it. So it's earlier in the year and say, let me tell you, unless you improve this, this, and this, you're gonna get a negative year-end review. Okay, person may not like it, but they go to work on it, and then in the year-end review, when you say, hey, you improved on this, but not all right, fair enough, you warned me. They may not like it, but they're less likely to quit on you or feel betrayed or get where they don't trust you anymore. Why don't people coach during the year? It's a pain. You have to prepare. If I'm gonna coach somebody during the year, I gotta figure out what to say. Probably have to go interview 10 people to work with them. It's time consuming. But what it does is creates due process, and you can warn people. In my experience, if you care about your people, we spend so much time recruiting them and trying to keep them, but yet you gotta coach them. I've seen more leaders blow up leaders that leave their organization over year-end surprise when they should have coached them during the year. So those are two misconceptions, the difference between mentoring and coaching, and the difference between coaching and performance. You gotta separate those two or you're gonna regret it.